straight away. We're not messing around today with North America versus Italy in the BWL quarterfinals. I will need to turn my audio down before we continue. That's for sure. We don't want to see any ear rapes today. No lost ears, no big rips today. So we are starting off on probably the hardest map to spectate on, but it's going to be certainly very interesting to see which one of these sort of powerhouse teams comes through today. I'm expecting a very even game, basically from the start. I can't imagine one team's going to take a massive lead either way, if I'm honest. You're definitely probably looking at something like a 3-3, 3-2. Could come down to tickets, could come down to just, you know, the last map. All that kind of thing. Hopping on here with Adamant. Obviously, I think there's something to be said for tankers who, you know, stick around during this time, during this period of Battlefield 5, where Squad Progress is, you know, dominated by infantry maps. Sorry, excuse me. As Kama gets the kill there onto Chain. I mean, it must be hard. If you're a pure tanker, you know, BF1 incursion style, where you basically play tank every single day, you come into BF5, you know, there's like 2 actual legit maps you can play tank on, Arras and Hamada. And Hamada, some teams have actually gone away from the tank, so really you're only looking at one guaranteed map in a full rotation, where you can be, you know, the person you are, you know, at your best strength. That's the person you play as. So I think players like Adamant, I know Spider for the GB team, you know, basically a tanker main, and has had to basically adapt and become more of an infantry player to stay active, stay relevant essentially. Because there's a lot of tankers which have just basically gone inactive because they are a tanker and they haven't been accommodated in this competitive setting. Obviously going forward we'll have map vetoes and the like to so teams can basically, you know, avoid or intentionally pick tank maps. So that's definitely a thing which is going to happen. Early on, Italy have taken a good lead. They have got A and B. They're definitely taking B now. It looks like this 2-cap's going to last a while. It's this underground area which they're going to have to focus on now. The trades come through pretty heavily. You see a 2-on-2 going down there. Rolex chucks the nade. You see a nice nade cam. Stops them from coming. He does get shot from behind by Chain though. You will see a lot of the support players on this map. If they are running support, most of them will be playing FG. You probably won't see that many Lewis guns. If you do see a Lewis gun, you might be looking at like a red dot site, like we saw yesterday from Centrifugi on the side of Finland when they played Spain. That can work, but really the rate of fire is probably too slow for most of these engagements. The FG is pretty much perfectly suited for this kind of thing. Ingles a lot of hassle, a bit of a gun glitch there for Chain. I assure you he wasn't spraying into the ground in frustration. Starting off here, Adamant, again, I mentioned the tankers. He's doing well as an infy so far, so nothing to complain about on the side of NA. You are probably looking at, you know, kind of not carrying, but, you know, picking up the slack for your tankers on the maps which are infantry focused. And especially infantry focused on close maps. That is when your infantry players need to be at their strongest. You're looking at guys like Ash, for example, on the GB team, to be slaying with an SF on this kind of map. You know, bayonet charge around corners, all that kind of juicy stuff which, you know, you have to be a sort of top class infantry player to do that. And it's impressive to see a tanker keep up with the pace, honestly, and to lead the team not only just in kills or hovering around the sort of top kill mark for his team, but also in score. Very impressive. But then again, doesn't really matter when you've got, you know, guys like Doom, guys like Buffalo go 5-0, 4-0, Jukes 6-4. Jukes has been on a tear basically since the tournament started, really. I haven't really seen any bad games from him personally. His worst games are probably going, you know, breaking, you know, positive by 2 or 3. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad game by any stretch. But both of these teams, I didn't have enough time to really introduce the teams. Because we started so sort of hastily, I guess. And I would like to emphasize both of these teams very strong, genuinely. Like, this isn't, I'm not saying that to be nice, I'm not saying that to be courteous to both teams and their skill level. They are genuinely some of the best players in the world on both of these teams. And they are not, you know, one of these teams is going to have to go, which is pretty crazy. One of these teams is going to be gone from this tournament by the end of this game. they will not be playing any more matches in the preseason international. And honestly, you probably won't be playing any matches of significance until RSP comes. After this match, one of these teams is going to have their last significant match until RSP Community Games comes in mid-December. Huge nade from Jukes. Honestly, he doesn't even get the kill with the nade, but that obviously forces his opponent over to the head glitch so he could see him. See Jukes trying to get a pick here. Great positioning. You know, you're going to get taken out there. Best chance scenario, you get one, but then if your teammate trades, you know, he's probably going to get the revive as well. If you take out the assault, then you know the medic's going to get him. Usually in those situations, you probably want to take out the assault. So big gunfight win for the Dukes to stay alive as the medic in that situation. Italy again, they've done so well so far in this game. You see Catalyst here. I haven't seen Catalyst play in so long, but I know he's a very talented player. Used to play for Defy, now plays for Venom, and is obviously on this NA team. Watching Spawn there, he knows those guys next to him in the sandbags, was unable to locate the guy coming down the stairs. There's so much, you know, after the last update, these footsteps are pretty crazy, so there's so many footsteps going around him. Honestly, a bit difficult to locate the source when you need to. You know, enemy prioritization is very difficult when there's so many guys around. It looks like the Italian player is going to get taken down there. So it looks like A and B is possible for NA. They've definitely broken out of that chokehold that Italy had forced them in, essentially. Hovering onto A here just because no one's here. And honestly, that's a free flag for NA. Sorry, for Italy. Poor defense there from the North Americans. Great attack onto B, but they basically lose it because they trade out A. And I think the reaction then is to push onto the C flag. Chris Benoit watching our favourite WWE star, who also managed to kill his wife and kids and commit suicide. So I mean, maybe not, maybe not the best. Maybe not the best name to choose. He's desperately trying to give his teammate health, but this is the sort of thing when there's guys coming, he manages to give them enough time to make the push. Storm manages to kill himself with the dynamite. Pretty unfortunate for him there, but Chris Benoit was the last guy to see. The sort of, you know, this position's pretty common, honestly, probably easy reads, hence why he got smoked out. You know, they only know there's one guy on the flag, but you probably know where he is because of, you know, kind of process of elimination. If he's not on the, I mean, wow, I can't believe this guy's still alive. He's getting pushed. He needs to do something because he's not really doing anything particularly at the moment. Luckily, his team comes in. Honestly, I think he did well just to stay alive at that point because he could have pushed and got killed, but I mean, there's so many guys. Catalyst again, absolutely swarmed on that C flag. Has got no chance. He feels like he's doing the dirty work right now, but it's not really paying off. Italy are kind of cruising. Jukes is 16-7. I mean, Kama picks up the kill on Joan. There's so many guys here. Could have got another one if he wasn't taken out so quickly. Raspathy, PG player, came from Xbox, now plays on PS4. Was on the best team in Xbox, and now takes his talents to a different console. He's trying to revive Wolfie. He's in the very strange position. Headbutts the wall on his way through. I mean, this Jukes again with the 3-piece. I'm not. Is that 4 now? He's absolutely going off. I don't know what he's doing to this team, but it's not very nice. I can assure you that. Drugs here. Me and Drugs have a little TDM. A little TDM game the other day. It was lovely, and here he is on the main stage essentially. In this quarterfinal, Catalyst here pushing up, trying to revive Adamant. Goes for the slow one. He's probably going to get pushed, so probably a good choice. He actually doesn't end up getting pushed, so he could have actually got him. Then again, I would have probably skipped that as well. Some camera fuckery, yeah. And now Jukes, he's picking up just easy kills. He's on 21, just at a different level here. The only guy keeping up with him is Doom. But on the NA side, 11 and 10 is the top kill mark. Adamant's slowed down massively since the hot start he had, but he's still leading the team in score, amazingly. So just a lack of aggression, or NA is really struggling here to keep up with the aggression of the Italians. They are really going for it. You see a pick here and there, but just the sheer pace, I guess, that the Italians are playing with. You saw a team like France struggle to keep up with this sort of pace in their group. You saw them play against Poland. Poland obviously come out on top in that matchup. But Italy are definitely someone to fear, and you sort of see that as you come out. Obviously, NA won that huge game. Wow! That should not be a good fight he's winning. All that one, honestly, he gets some help, but he gets most of the damage in. He's on B now. He's somehow still alive. He gets another assist. Honestly, it feels like he wouldn't be winning these gunfights if the people weren't around him, because people are distracted. No one's even shooting back at this guy because there's so many guys around him. No one's even looking at him. This is very frustrating as a player when you can't locate that one guy that everyone's calling out. And I mean, Stormslayer is doing his best to try and get on B, but it's just too late. This is a huge win because it's not only just a win. It's the tickets basically a 100 bomb. You don't really see this. I was not expecting this kind of result. That is pretty insane. I'm gonna like write this down, I guess, on a piece of paper. By the way, the overlays are messed up. The service provider or whatever is like messed up. So I am on pen and paper here, guys. You can never say. There's two massive fights going to happen. There's going to be one on B flag probably, and one on the tank station. You know, depending on how fast these teams take out the tank, is probably going to be the X factor in this game. You're going to see, I assume, Adamant on one side, and yeah, and Eyes Rinnegan on the other side. I think I'm right in saying Rinnegan was struggling in a scrim versus Spain recently, something along those lines, or with 1UP. I'm not sure. I saw him struggling in a scrim with the tank. I could be completely wrong in saying that, but I assume this trend could continue. You see a heavy push onto C. Basically, B's open. Camma's the only guy there. You see people pushing out. I just want to give you an overhead view just to see the sort of tactics you see at the start. You see the big B push that I mentioned from the North Americans, and you see this massive C push that you see from the Italians, which I also mentioned, because it catches them out. Amazingly, though, Castle is able to win 2 gunfights in mid. Adamant gets a pick. A-Bomb gets a pick as well. Storm gets a pick. I mean, there's 2 guys left. Jukes finally gets a kill to break up that red wall we saw in the kill feed. Buffalo is the last guy on C for Italy. He gets a kill on Catalyst, so he's done well to stay alive, but he's getting absolutely mortared by Adam. You see him doing this stay alive thing where you just sort of play your timings, play your angles, and try and stay up for your team. They're probably saying, he's still under fire, mate, he's still under fire. Still can't spawn on you, but he's done a good job to stay alive this far. He's getting shot at from behind, a few missed shots there from Joan, from range, which is what I believe is the ZK, judging by the sound of the gun, yeah. So, I mean, this is the thing. If this C push from Italy doesn't work, which it doesn't really work, you know, you leave. You're at the risk of having a 2-cap since the start of the game. You know, that massive push from NA onto B. It looked like a mistake from them because it looked like they committed like too many guys, I guess. And since then, I mean, because they pushed so hard onto B, you thought Italy was going to get onto C. They actually win basically none of the gunfights, and NA have this 2-cap. Storm is the last guy on B. He's trying his best. Wolfie with a good position. Storm with a pretty good position. Looking onto Barnside. Doom able to pick up the kill. Say Barnside. I mean Tractor side. He's going to stay alive now. Wolfie gets another pick in this sort of back truck area. Doom's just going to stay alive and cap the flag. He knows Wolfie's back there. Doesn't know specifically where, probably. He knows he's probably going to spawn on him, so runs out in the open a bit randomly and gets taken out. See where these guys are now. You see Drugs get a squad assist onto Raspathy there. Top of the flag now. The gunfight going down. He's going to throw the dynamite. He's going to miss. That's the issue when you get the dynamite out, is you get pieced if you're caught with it out. Joan still going. Trying to get more picks on the speed flag. Absolute spray and pray from Jukes at this point, but he knows the pressure's on. He knows there's a lot of guys flooding him. He's going to have to reload. He's going to get pressured a bit too much, and I think you see the wipe there pretty much. I think you've got Buffalo still alive, hanging around B. Nothing's really changed on the other flags. I say that, NA have actually leaked to A, and are actually, a massive tank battle's going down right now. You see Rinnegan under pressure from Adamant and Catalyst. Catalyst there doing a lot of damage on the tank there. Probably he's going to give Adamant the chance to actually take him out here. Misses a shot. He's got another shot. Gets taken out, and Rinnegan goes down. Django gets taken down behind him as well. Cam was the last guy alive. He's putting pressure on Adamant. Adamant picks up the kill. He has the 3-piece in the kill feed. Well played from him. Got to give credit to Catalyst and Chain there for keeping him alive the whole time. We hop over to C flag now. B flag's basically been wiped by the NA players. Again, I mentioned this. Italy, 99-0, first map on Underground. We wait 2 maps, and they've cooled off like, you know, a firm breeze, and it's just absolute domination now from NA. Catalyst getting in on the action now with a 2-piece. He knows there's a guy near him. He's trying to juke him. Like, absolutely crazy. Can't do it. Tries to jump into the gunfight. Juke's there with the Tommy gun. able to get the kill, but it is traded out from range by Raspithy with the rebate rolls. Gets another... no, he doesn't. He gets taken out by Drugs. I thought he was about to get another kill. I think Drugs able to win that gunfight pretty handily, actually. He knows there's a guy above him. Doesn't know how quickly he's going to pressure him, though. Jones actually just going to stay alive. This is the thing we mentioned with Battlefield 5. It's probably the most... It's a naturally campy game, these spawns on these bigger maps. That's why they're so important. And BF1, when you had smaller maps, you know, you could spawn home flag and get to B flag, you know, pretty quickly. You could flank the whole map. Think of like a RAS. Sorry, not a RAS, you know... forgetting the name of the map. Let's just take Suez. You can spawn anywhere on the map and you could be in any other place on the map pretty quickly. On this game, you know, if you get squad wiped on a flag, you're not going to be there for a while, and that's the issue. That's why you stay alive. That's why the game's naturally slower paced in general. Honestly, I've been amazed by not only the fact that NA have recovered from such a genuine, like, you know, convincing loss that they suffered in the first game, and they've just come out absolutely beaming. Italy are probably taking the foot off the pedal a little bit. Renegan is clearly subbed in. He wasn't playing in the first game. They've clearly subbed him in as the tanker for Italy. They're hoping he pulls something out of the bag. Castle is here with a flank. They're able to get the first one. There's so many guys with him. He gets taken out by Renegan in the end. Italy about to clear the flag, but this is the thing. They lose the gunfight on B. Despite winning on A, one flag in this game mode is absolutely useless. You will not get a single ticket from one flag. Only from kills, confirmed kills, and a 2-cap/3 cap formation. And you see the tactic here from Italy is, once again, to basically say, we don't want to go B, let's just go to C and try our best. But you see this setup, this sort of big tree setup. You see Joan lying down on his belly there, having a great time, just chilling out. He knows there's some guys over here. He knows they're pushing, doesn't know quite how many. And they're really picking them off. This is a pretty solid line here. Nothing to complain about. There's still a lot of guys fanning out. You do see a little bit of a sort of inclination towards village where Italy could go there if it all goes wrong on C flag, and it really has kind of gone all wrong on C flag. They are getting pressured. There's a whole squad here. Absolute chaos. Buffalo's getting pressured from the tank. He's a guy on C as well. He takes Chain out. Adamant's still here. Amazingly though, the Italian players are able to win the gunfight in the field there, even though it looked like it was against them in general. Adamant in the tank here. Just going to hop on with him. See what he can pull off. A lot of pressure, not only from the infantry players, but also the tanker as well. He's going to stay back. I've seen him on this hill a lot. This is where he likes to chill out, have a good time. He knows he can go back to spawn and repair if he needs to. C random spawn comes in for NA in this back rock. Probably one of the more annoying random spawns. They will spawn there even if you're standing next to them, and it's one you can't really prevent from standing there. Chain doesn't know it, but he was hovering over a player there. And they have to get the kill. Buffalo picks him another kill on 2. C gets traded out by the tanker in the back. And right now it's just going to be a sort of standoff. They're just going to try and lump guys on the flag. He would like to get Buffalo really, but he knows the tank's there. Showing Adamant some respect there by not peeking essentially. Big gunfight win by Drugs, but he doesn't know there's a guy watching him. Somehow doesn't actually get taken out despite having been shot basically. That was a free kill as far as I'm concerned. That wasn't picked up. Doom actually gets the kill, so that's actually a big missed kill there by Chen. Adamant though, clearly pre-aiming that. There's barely any cover anymore. I think C random was taken by Buffalo just in time. Chain behind ammo box. He's going to get pressure from the side. Doom gets traded out by the tanker as well. Absolute chaos. We see Jukes back here, back C. As you see, NA keep pressuring A over and over again, and it feels like the Italians are just unable to win any of the important gunfights. They get wiped on C, they get pretty much wiped off A, and this is bad news bears for the Italians. This is going to be about the same scoreline, or a similar scoreline as we saw on the first map, so that sort of, big win that Italy got is kind of been erased. To A-bomb takes out the tank with the Panzerfaust with the help of Raspithy and Storm. Definitely important to note the players around the tank can be used for all sorts of reasons, obviously to damage the tank themselves and to just be bait and just to intimidate the tanker when he knows he's surrounded. It's difficult to pick out a certain guy and to concentrate on getting on one guy. Honestly, the slaying power of the North Americans has really come out here. Jukes is trying to revive. For some reason doesn't bother smoking, probably a mistake from him. Obviously the smoke draws a lot of attention, but I would also still do it to guarantee a revive in that situation. He might have had no smokes, who knows, but a little bit of a mistake perhaps. But I think the mistakes run deeper than just not smoking for a revive. I mean, NA have really sort of asserted their dominance. Their dominance onto B flag is basically, you know, duplicated onto other flags as well. And just the slaying, just the pure aggression. It feels like they mean every single one of these kills when people are slicing each other up with FG42s. You see 2 of them come out on the side of NA. Django have to pick up the trade, but it's just too late. That is a genuine, huge win. That actually means NA take the lead. That is crazy. I mean, it is 1-1, so the NA players are only up by 1. Buffalo there warming his calves up with the teabag. PC, this group of players now has to come up big in this next map. They do look like they belong to each other. They are wearing basically the same thing. Big Riverside push coming out from them, no doubt. And you probably see the sort of standard thing from the NA side. Usually this sort of strat is about the same. You're probably going to see all 3 lanes covered just to make sure no one slips through. But this big push is a bit of a hard counter to the weakest lane which they've defended, which is this Riverside. They've decided to smoke and then push B from the lower part, which is usually a bad idea. Usually wouldn't recommend this, and I think you see this because they get the kills. A-bomb and Adamant picking apart the guys who went to Riverside, and the guys who went to B-side are also getting picked apart. Jukes, last guy on the flag for the Italians, he gets traded out from Black Cart. Chris Benoit's here on the floor, but he's nervous as hell. Knows there's a lot of guys with him. He gets picked as well by Adamant from the Riverside. I've seen Adamant go here on multiple games now on Rotterdam, where he likes to go to this head glitch on the right side and basically just chill out with the SDG. And pretty much that is about as clean as a wipe you're ever going to get. That push is so difficult to you know, execute against these top teams that I'm not massively surprised it didn't work. But you know, at times you had Italian players on the far left, on the far right. They're both trying to you know, get through, leak to A at the best case scenario. Wasn't able to happen. And you see guys like Storm, like Wolfie, like Raspathy, you know, holding their lanes, doing their roles. Nothing too crazy, having some discipline. The call comes out, there's some guys mid lane, guys rotate over. The kill feed is just blue, 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 blue in favour of NA right now. And this is the kind of map where you could, you know, if you're NA, you need to, you know, stamp on the throats of Italy. This is how you get them out of the match. Just mentally, you know, not forget the tickets, forget the round win. Just mentally, if you can stomp on a team like this, yes, you've got the favourable spawn and you're kind of expected to, but if you can, you know, if you can do that and show that, you know, you are not messing around, essentially, and that's a big deal in my opinion. Obviously the rotations come through, the callouts have come through. Storm occupying a very strong spot, gets taken out luckily. Doom very aggressive on the flag. I'm not sure what gun he has, he's got the Type 100. He lies down, gets the pick on Wolfie eventually. Guy to his right, guy all around him honestly, but he's just going to stack the flag here. He's going to peek the left corner, hoping to get a pick onto this sort of stairs side, but there's still a lot of pressure from this Riverside, who's getting some weird angles. See guys like Chain and Adamant holding that right side, being very, very annoying. Chain picks up another kill in mid, so Duke's trying to get the NA players with a great nade away from this top B side, but you do see guys like Wolfie coming in from mid, so this is a massive pinch here from top B random spawn side, which wasn't watched by the Italians, and then you see push from mid as well. Raspathy doing some medic work. Medic players are extremely important on Rotterdam during these pushes. Most of the time they're just there for smoke, but most also here to pick up the mess and clean up. Was a bit too aggressive there. Gets taken out, gets sort of pinched between Buffalo and Jukes, I believe. Jukes here in ladder steps, able to get the trade onto Storm. Only one guy left. They can't really locate him. He's actually in this top B area. I feel like they're going to locate him now, and he gets taken out. Good wipe by the Italians, and now this is where they get into the game. They've actually done an incredible job because they haven't actually been punished that much for having this bad spawn, and now they've got this really nice line. How long they can keep this up though is up for debate, but I think unless the Americans are able to break through this quickly onto the right side here with Catalyst and Adam and an A-bomb, which they don't. Django and Jukes working together amazingly. Adamant gets taken down as well. You see who's coming out hot. You see Jukes again leading the way for the Italians. You see Kama and Rolex 0-4 apiece, and they're still, you know, they still broke out of this sort of spawn. Wolfie having a good game as well for the Americans. But this is very interesting because usually you can try, but you won't keep this line for that long. Wolfie putting down some shots downrange with this AA sight. The Xbox trend continues. Doom is being extremely aggressive with drugs. Gets taken out from the side, and he knows there's a guy top B. He needs to get this guy out of red building window. That is probably the priority right now, to at least discourage him by firing a few shots in his direction, throw a few grenades in the windows. Some Kobe nades would not go amiss in this situation, but you've still got this spawn top B, which Italy have been very slow to encounter and to try and get rid of. Wolfie back again, spawns on his teammate. And he's back for some more good shots from him, but he got team shot there by multiple players. Wasn't able to do anything. Storm, Catalyst, Adamant, lighting up the kill feed. Storm again, putting some shots down range, trying to shoot into the smoke. Trying to put the pressure on, gets his teammate revived. But you see this leak onto A. Finally, we see something which breaks up this sort of linear line. You see, Kama has managed to find his way onto this flag. He's 1-5, but he's probably made one of the more important plays of the game so far. Tries to shoot Adamant through this hedge. Can't quite locate him. He's sort of spraying randomly. He can't see the outline like we can. But he knows he's here. Adamant picks up another kill. He's just being annoying. Adamant running around. He's still alive, but he's distracted so much that Catalyst actually gets the trade. And Adamant will get revived here by Chain on A flag. So they've actually done a really good job to recapture that. They are also capturing B again, thanks to the slaying of Joan and Stormslayer. You know, clues in the name from Storm, really. That's what he does. He's going to slay, he's going to get kills. And he's done his job particularly well so far on B flag just then. But again, Italy, this B flag is so... The more and more you watch Rotterdam, the more and more you see how the team who controls top B actually has control over the whole flag. It feels like it's downhill. It feels like having control of this sort of pillar side is pretty much useless, and having control of these sort of areas is very helpful for your sort of flexibility around the map and your decisions you can make. Adamant on the left side, he's going to play slow, he's not going to play very aggressive, he knows his limitations. He knows he's a main tanker. He's not going to do anything crazy, but he is going to play solid, he is going to head glitch, he is going to have pretty good shots, so not really expecting him to go off. You are expecting his team to go off though and carry the slaying work. You see Buffalo getting pressured here by a bunch of American players. He knows this guy's to his right. He goes for the guy who's moving. Cassis didn't even, I think he realised it, but actually provided a bomb with some help there. Joan with the two-piece as well with the ZK. He's under a lot of pressure. Doom here pushing up the stairs. Gets the kill. Hopping onto Jukes now, spraying and praying through the smoke. Very fast-paced game of Rotterdam. A lot of B pushes. You don't usually see like this frequently over and over again. Usually there's a clean wipe, but neither team is very able to get a clean wipe. Doom trying to avenge his teammate going down there. He needs to stay alive. He's getting pushed from both sides. He is basically screwed and he knows it. He tries to force something and isn't able to do it. So you see what is going to look like. ANA have actually leaked to C flag. And I think this is the next big gunfight here. Chain able to pick up a kill on Buffalo. You need to see the Italians regain the home flag pretty quickly. I mean, if they don't, they're a bit stuck. Cassis able to get a kill there. He is going to get Jukes as well. Probably wasn't expected to get that kill. He's getting pushed from the left though. Probably should have heard him, but for some reason isn't able to. And it looks like... Oh, luckily, this is the C back spawn for the North Americans. They do get the back spawn here. No one's checked it. This is the same thing with the B random spawns. Italy just seem like they don't really know the random spawns. Is that harsh to say that a national team of this caliber doesn't check random spawns? Because they've done it a few times now. On Arras, you saw it in C flag, they weren't checking it. On B flag earlier, this game they don't check it, and right now they weren't checking this C random spawn either. Obviously you want to get revived, obviously you want to sort of secure the flag, but you've obviously got to have one guy at least checking the random spawns just to see where the next wave is going to come from. And the fact that Buffalo was, you know, not really expecting that meant that he was able to get picked. Adamant, lovely side-on view from the cameraman there. You see the gunfights go down. Luckily they're able to suppress it, and they have got control of C now, so I guess the next big gunfight is going to go on B flag now, where you see the Americans go, okay, we haven't got their home flag, You see now Storm and Joan rotate off B flag, so B's basically empty, but they know they have to leave it to try and get a flag back, because right now it is an even game, despite the fact that it's Rotterdam. You know, people always talk about the sides, but you wouldn't believe how many games are not really just decided by the spawns. And also, you know, there's some pressure on the team with the better spawn to execute, and to, you know, some players think that it's a bigger issue than it is, and they sort of, you know, take the round off, don't focus enough, expect players just to sort of carry them tactically to the victory. You know, it's not as simple as that. If you, and you know, when teams compensate for the bad spawn and they go, you know, okay guys, we're gonna have to smoke this, we're gonna have to flank here, we're gonna have to do some cheesy stuff in the water, all this kind of stuff, take random spawns, work as a squad better. You know, that dichotomy of, you know, not trying hard enough and trying more harder than you usually would. You see the campy corner works well for Chris Benoit, our favourite Royal Rumble winner. I think it works out so that basically the game's very even. Just mentally, I think that's a factor. And I think you see this take into effect because this AC hold for Italy has worked for quite a while now. You haven't seen much change despite the NA's best efforts. And it's interesting because we went from Underground small map, Italy wins, Arras big map, NA wins, Rotterdam sort of has a bit of a mix, but mainly long range, and Italy have kind of bucked the trend a little bit. I mean, I wasn't really expecting them to win this kind of map, especially on the weaker side, but they are in the lead right now. Storm's I assume that's it's one of the more fun glitches you see in spectator mode. But he's kind of backed off because Buffalo and Chris are on this flag. Storm providing good spawns. Crazy headshot from Buffalo there. Able to get the kill. Trade's going down. Wolfie, I think, one of the last guys alive for this NA team. Kama gets a two-piece, able to get the one on the sandbags and the one in the back. A-bomb is still alive here for NA, but this two-hold has been absolutely critical. I mean, Italy have really turned it around. They pushed out of their home spawn, and I mean, I know how I mentioned Adamant is, you know, main tanker. You're not really relying on him for slaying. Something's going wrong if he's your top slayer, if I'm honest, on the American team. That isn't a shade at him at all. I think he'll admit there as well that, you know, you don't really want your tanker to be leading you in kills on Rotterdam, especially when he's just come off a tank map, so he's not, he hasn't even really warmed up in infantry. You know, when we had Underground, we then burned 2 maps and then played the tank map, so he's like, you know, 4 maps removed from playing infantry, and he's leading the way in kills. I think there's something clearly going wrong for the Americans there, and this 2-cap that Italy were able to break out of this line that, you know, the NA players get on the favourable spawn. They've broken out, got A, regained, sorry, held onto C so effectively that it's just worked out for them. And I mean, it's going to be so hard for the Americans to get back because they haven't got the revives, and I think that's definitely it. I think the deaths are definitely going to come through now, and Italy are going to take that one 49-0.
It's been really good. We've had some really awesome games. Obviously, as you know, UK making it through, beating the Allies almost every map there. KSA versus Poland was a very good game, a very intense map on Arras that went to 3 tickets, which is just awesome. But KSA also made it through. So I do believe with that we're going to see UK versus KSA, and Spain are just waiting on their engagement there, which is going to be good. It's been fun set of games tonight.
No, definitely, it's been pretty crazy. M3 games in one night, but you know, we were able to do it thanks to the dedication of guys like Wild, who put in time and effort to do this kind of stuff. So thank you very much, Wild, for all your support.
No worries,
and all your help. And hopping in now on Hamada. I'm kind of, I mean, I don't know what to expect anymore. I said before how Underground sort of favoured the Italians, sort of SMG players, and they just, you know, won on Rotterdam, which is a pretty long range map, and they won that as well. So I guess they're good at everything. Maybe I'm accentuating teams' weaknesses a little bit. It could go either way. I honestly don't know what to expect here.
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way with these 2 teams. I mean, NA historically have had some really strong players. But then again, the Italians themselves are also very, very strong. There's no doubt about it with that one, really.
No, 100%.
Just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've seen some, you know, huge plays from Dukes. I mean, he's been fragging pretty much the whole tournament whenever we've hopped on with him. But I think I think honestly, the longer you go in this tournament, the more you're going to see. You know, you need 8 players slaying on your team. You can't really have even a weakness, a single player being a weakness. You've seen it like on Arise, for example. Italy subbed in Finnegan, their tanker, and then as soon as the game ended, they subbed him out again. So he's played one map, he lost it unfortunately, and he's off the scene. It's that kind of, you know, sub, because we need every player to be the correct player for the situation to have a chance of winning. You know, teams are really taking this seriously. They're really going for the wins here. No one's messing around anymore. It's oh, I say that Rennigan is back in the tank, so he's actually been stood back in. So he's back again, guys. Special appearance from Rennigan. But yeah, starting off so far, I mean, NA look like they're about to sort of start a trip cap if they're able to win the gunfights on A. Rennigan is going to hold back and try and hold the line, but the slaying so far has been in favour of North America. Rolex with a huge one-on-one against Wolfie now on A flag. See if he can get the win.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously with a lot of these maps like Hamada that we're watching now, it's the tank play is either going to be really boring or it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
But we're starting to see a lot of the tanks really guard their home spawns, and what I saw in that KSA game is that it was really important that the tank needed to be there. Just unfortunately it didn't go the way a lot of the time, and they ended up getting taken out a fair bit.
Ooh, I love seeing tanks getting taken out. You know, the massive explosions. You just know that the tank is gonna be screaming in the party chat about how, you know, pissed off he is with his teammates for letting him get killed. But oh, I say that Adamant gets taken down in the tank, so the NA tanker is down. He's absolutely going on flames on B flag. Obviously a risky move to do. Both tanks are down. Both tanks are down. They're completely tankless on this map now. Huge plays both ways. So it's all down to the infantry now to see which team is going to take control of this game.
100% here, and I think it's really going to come down to a lot of the gunfights on Bravo, because it's been quite intense so far. Both teams really gunning for it, but I do believe we are going to be seeing the NA side taking a bit of a lead right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Kama gets his first kill of the game there. Oh, I guess his second kill as well. So he's woken up a bit. I mean, he started off 0-4 on Rotterdam. So surprisingly slow games for him, it feels like to me so far. But nonetheless, they were obviously able to win that Rotterdam game, and they're now able to take a 2-cap back thanks to his slaying on B flag. So he's back on the sticks, ready to get some kills. And I mean, NA are really stacking their home flag right now. It doesn't look like they're gonna be losing that anytime soon. They're just trying to find the last guy. Buffalo gets a kill, but he's probably going to get traded out. He's running for his life, trying to stay alive with Camber looking over him, but he's probably going to get taken down. So this AC hold comes in for an NA now.
Yeah, and that's going to be really important, because we all know that getting pinched between the home flags is a really difficult situation to kind of break out of.
Definitely.
But Italy have got the tank there on Alpha. I mean, it's playing a bit passive. Catalyst is being a real pain in the backside here with Dynamite. Not much that tank can really do. With Alpha being lost now, Dukes and Doom doing a really good job clearing that out. NA have got a little bit of thinking to do, because Italy are really up in their game right now.
No, definitely. I mean, you saw, you know, there's two decisions you can do when you've got B flag. Is to, you know, spawn on B and go to one of the flags from there, or to spawn in your home flag and take that. It looks like they opted for the home flag, and they have got their A flag back on the side of Italy, so they hold A and B. Issue with that is that you have you know, a lack of pressure on this BC area, and you see that come into effect now when they start to lose B flag, and they're actually even losing C flag as well. Some of the American players hanging around there providing spawns, so they maintain B, but they sort of have this same situation again, like we talked about. This sort of home flag hold sort of remains the same now.
Yeah, and we saw a really good decision from Catalyst here, who was held back quite a bit to allow 2 of his teammates to spawn on him, which allowed them to put a lot of pressure on this Alpha flag. And Doom's got to go big right now. It's a 1v1. He knows the guy there. Tommy Gun is out. Unfortunately, he loses that engagement there, as it's now just left to Eyes to get there. But the spawns are coming in from the NA side, and they're really going to take back this Alpha flag. You know, Italy really needed to go big right there, and with Bravo going down as well. Ooh,
what? Some random AT mine Oh my god! So we mentioned that we saw that gunfight between A-Bomb and Doom there. A-Bomb able to come out on top, wasn't able to do anything because he's a medic. So the tank backs up, blah blah blah, and then he runs over a random mine and blows up. So the tank is down on the Italian side. All chaos ensues. They have to now flood A, which means they've got a lack of pressure on B. They're gonna have to go huge now to keep the B flag. Because I imagine, yeah, you see the spawn now because they know B flag's empty pretty much. Well, I mean, there's 3 guys, but I mean it's empty in terms of the pressure because you can flood them in, especially with Adamant now taking his position on the front of B flag. They're going for the kill. They know the tank's down. They know Rinnegan's having to spawn as an infantry player now, in his least favoured position as you'd like to be as a tanker. So Italy, I think, have done a good job actually to not lose a flag at this point.
Yeah, and I think if it were me, Rinnegan is making a really smart decision here as a tanker, just chancing it on Charlie. He knows that Adamant has had to pull off to the other side of the map. I mean, I'm not too sure why. Probably just trying to lock off the flank there. But we're going to start to see Charlie going in for Italy. Bravo is being lost, and Italy are retaking the Alpha flag. So although they're on the back foot, they're doing a really good job in trading these flags out. And what was quite a significant lead at the beginning when I joined is now being reduced to just these 10 tickets, and Rolex getting a nice double kill there on the push back to NA's home flag. But Charlie is being contested, the tank counting for 2 on the flag, and Rinnegan in a bit of trouble here. It's a 1v4, gets shot in the back. What can you do?
Yeah, he was playing sneaky there in the corner, trying to use his mines, I assume, onto the enemy tank. Tanker versus tanker action, but not in the way you would expect. But now, as you say, I think Italy had a really good flank there onto C and they've still got some spawns there. Doom gets taken out by the tank, unfortunately, and it looks like Catalyst is going to pick up the last kill on Django. They kind of miss each other, actually, and he doesn't see him in the corner. But no, like you said, they did a good job of rotating. They managed to sort of, at the time, keep their home flag. They now lost it, but they are taking B. We see this a lot with Hamada. It's so hard to keep up with the rotations because these teams are so, forward thinking. They think 2-3 steps ahead, and they are rotating off the flags they want to lose. Well, not really want to lose, but they accept that they can't take back, and they go on to the next one. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, 100%, but it's going to be a bit difficult now for Italy as they're being pushed on Bravo. They've been locked out of Charlie, so they haven't really got much room to go. Chain of Misery going on the long flank here. It's probably going to meet Camo and Jando here.
One-on-one, loses the gunfight.
Yeah. Yeah, Camo did a really good job locking that one down as they push towards Charlie. It wouldn't surprise if Misery spawns in and tries to go back for that Charlie flag, but Italy just a bit too slow on this push, and it's cost them that an extra 10 tickets now on the lead that they've worked so hard to get.
No, exactly, and they're just pushing front B from A flag with basically no cover at all. I think one player smoked the Overwatch, but you also have this sort of low stair Overwatch as well, which Joan is currently occupying, and they just got some free kills. That's about as free kills as you're ever going to get. Obviously, Rinnegan's back in the tank now, so it's good for him, but wasn't particularly effective push when you don't smoke it. Luckily, though, I mean, I say that it's over. Kama is alive, but I mean, it's a 1v1, so there's a chance here he could win this. Kama
There's
almost.
a chance. There was a hope.
Almost.
And now it's gone.
It's been extinguished now, but Doom is still alive on this flank, so I can't really see a B cap coming in for Italy anytime soon. I'm definitely hovering over this sort of C flag push, but it feels a bit disjointed to me. I'm not sure what you think about it. I mean, the Italy decision making seems to be correct. It's just getting the amount of players you need.
I mean, they just got a nice double piece here on Catalyst and A-Bomb. They could probably do with one of these guys splitting off and going for Bravo, but they don't need to, because with that 2-bomb happening, they're capturing Charlie. Adamant can't do it on his own. They're now pushing onto Bravo, and NA have to make a choice. What flag do they defend here? And they have to pick one or the other, because Italy are going to be in for a double cap. And Italy have now lost the advantage with that one because they're losing both Alpha and they're losing Charlie as well. So, I mean, it worked really well. Italy did a good job here. Adamant pushing straight through, smoking up a huge part of the map here, and they're just sort of maintaining that lead bit by bit.
No, exactly. I mean, they've done a good job to keep themselves in the game here, and they're actually putting enough pressure on C flag that they're actually starting to cap the flag. Again, I would love to say that this is amazing. I don't know how effective this is going to be. We see this so many times. The trip cap can actually lead to a reverse trip cap, so every gunfight win is probably the most important. It's going to be this entire game. Who wins the right gunfights on each flag? Because each team is spread out so thinly. You see Wolfie, for example, on A flag, flanking all the way around. If this C flag starts going, which it does, and by the looks of it, Duke's able to pick up a kill on Catalyst there, who seems to have been on a death streak for a while, unfortunately for him. So C is held, B is held, they do lose A. B is empty, but Joan, I don't think Joan, oh, he does know it now, he's on the flag. He's just going to cap B by himself. He's having a great time. We see this, out of position thing with the trip cap. How much do you want to give up on the map?
Exactly, and if Italy aren't too careful, they're going to overextend. They're struggling to catch a Bravo right now, but keeping it contested in their colour is going to do a really, really good job for them. The closer you are to the flag, I think the more you're going to cap as well, and that's what Kama did, just slowly moving in. John has to move out, and he does get the kill, but Drugs manages to get that trade. And Italy have actually taken the lead now, if not by just a few tickets, but losing Alpha and Charlie is going to be a big hit to them right now.
Definitely. I think Adamant actually left his tank and is now running around as an infantry player with the Sten. So interesting for him. I mean, this game is literally even, so I don't know how effective he's going to be with a like a bog standard tanker Sten. About as standard issue as you're going to see on the battlefield, especially in a quarterfinal game. But he is going to pick up a kill with it. There's a second kill he picks up with it. It looks like Italy are in a bit of trouble here. This is what we talked about. You've got to win every single gunfight, and they basically just lose every single gunfight and C. They haven't got A currently, although Rinnigan and Doom are pressuring it. They do luckily win B, but you need 2 flags to win. A-Bomb is pushing Rinnigan a lot on A flag. He's being a massive pain in the bum. And I think I think Chain traded Doom out with a sticky grenade, which is an interesting grenade choice. One-on-one here on A flag.
Yeah, but Rinnigan can't do it on his own. Luckily, he has got the help of Acer and Drugs, who are pushing on now. However, A-Bomb is in a really strong position. Rinnigan, I think, hits another mine here, and Misery just gunning down the trade on Drugs. A finally going back in the hands of Italy, but I think a little too late there. It's 18 to 31. Italy are now like 15 tickets behind, with the kills coming in favour of NA. I don't think they're going to have the steam and momentum to carry this one on.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to have to be a momentous comeback now to win this map. But we have seen crazier things happen on these games. It's certainly possible if they win basically every gunfight onto B, and make sure they smoke off these key areas. Adamant's still running around as a tanker. He wins. He doesn't lose. He wins. He loses the gunfight onto Buffalo. So some of the key gunfights are going down. The last guy on B on both sides. Actually, no, you kind of got a triangular. They're kind of surrounded on B, Italy, but they do pick up a kill. Doom with a huge pick onto Storm, so they have got ammo box control. Med box control is next on the card. See if Wolfie can stay alive. He is under a lot of pressure. He actually picks up the kill on Buffalo. Huge kill from him. He gets a 3-piece. Adamant kills Rinnigan in the tank with a random mine. And it seems like that means the swing of the game. Django with a 3-piece gets traded out. Wasn't enough. Joan comes in with the revives. And it looks like NA will finish this game out strong.
Yeah, 100%. But 22 tickets is a very close margin between these two teams, considering the last of the other quarterfinal games. I mean, UK had a 90-odd ticket consistent win every time. Yeah. KSA was still around that 40 points. So this has kind of actually been sort of the closest matchup that I've seen so far.
I'd like to say thank you guys for joining and watching the BWL stream. This is the last one of the evening. North America versus Italy, as Oscar is doing a fantastic job in the chat, actually taking scores and telling everyone what the score is. We apologise for no overlay. There is some issues, maintenance issues with the overlay provider, which means we can't show you the scores as we would like. But we are away and ready for map 5 on Fiel. Currently 2-2 in maps, a slight ticket lead in favour of the Italians going into this one. So North America would love to win by a significant margin, to not put enough pressure on themselves to have to win next map by a lot of tickets. If Italy take this map, it's going to be very difficult for NA to come back with a significant ticket lead. Do you see this massive gunfight and B now, though, Wild?
Yeah, it's just absolutely blazing. Both teams with 4 on, but it does look like NA did stack it a bit more. They're left to 2 people on right now. A-Bomb on his own at the very top. He has to fall back or do something. Doom is hunting him and somehow misses him.
He kills himself.
Oh, that's just tragic.
Oh no. Doom with a huge 3-piece tries to chase A-Bomb down. I assume he tried to dynamite to save himself, but yeah, didn't work out for him.
It's going to be really tricky now. Hold on, just take a look at that B mid lane. If someone built the barricades there to try and lock that off, very cheeky from one of these 2 teams. As Adamant gets a nice position to get those cheeky headshots in. Rolex forced to pull back here, and Italy really under a bit of pressure as they're A from Mountainside. Their middle lane has completely collapsed as Camo gets 1 kill. He has to try and finish this one off, as we could see NA with a chance to not only grab the home flag but also cheekily push to Bravo.
Exactly said. I mean, this mid lane, I've never really seen the fortifications done like that. Clearly, no one's. I don't think anyone. I genuinely haven't seen that in playing or casting. So that's a new one. We'll definitely remember that one in the future. But we see this A flank come in from NA, which is definitely viable on this map if you're able to hold it for a long time. Obviously, very difficult because you're coming. Gone.
It's not over the A flag. I mean, just if you whip to B, this is a very, very important engagement for Italy right now. If they lose this fight on Bravo, they could end up losing the game by a massive amount. Good thing is we got Kamika here, we got Rolex doing a good job defending as well, and it's allowing these guys on Alpha a lot of time to recap it without a triple cap getting set.
No, exactly. Very good point. I mean, if they lost that gunfight in B, they'd be in trouble, like you said, with the trip cap. Chain, I think, tries to stay alive for spawns. It looked like he was AFK or something. Was standing there, got a free kill, and now the pressure is on NA because A and B is capped. Obviously, they have some of the back spawns. Wolfie's able to get a good pick onto Buffalo on the flag, but it looks like Doom's going to be up and close and personal. Wolfie with another kill, unable to be traded by the Italians. They're having a lot of issue because there's this sort of side fire, this crossfire from a random spawn. The Italians struggling on the home flag to take control there.
Yeah, and I think this is where we really need to see the Italians push out onto Charlie to kind of get that pressure taken off of the A flag. But if they overextend a bit too much, you're going to start to see Bravo go down. Rolex is trying to do a good job defending that, but these 2 NA guys are just gunning for Bravo like there's no tomorrow, and we could see a triple cap setting in because Italy decided to overextend just a bit too much.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the thing, because obviously the mid lane's super important, but if you just let them waltz onto B flag and don't stop them, then you are kind of a bit stuffed. Camo actually gets a huge spawn because he actually got the big random spawn, which means he's behind the guys, causes a distraction, gets enough of a distraction. Joan goes huge with the 2-piece. Is he able to get the 3-piece? Surely not. He gets 3. There's one more. He gets traded out. Almost pulls it off, but Italy able to stabilize there on B flag.
That was very, very close. He could have gone big for his team here. We're seeing the revives coming in. So unfortunately, as impressive as those kills were, Jones' work was for nothing really, as none of those kills mattered. Italy still maintaining a nice 15-point lead, and no sign of that changing just yet. They've done a really good job to react to this complete onslaught by NA that just doesn't seem to stop. Yeah,
I agree. Although I would like to say that in the same way on Underground that we saw the Italians do so well and come out, flying with a 99-0 victory out of nowhere to me, they seem to be doing so well in these messy, smoky engagements. They seem to be a bit more happy in the chaos almost to sort of formulate. They're more than happy to spray in the smoke, hopefully get a lucky kill, and that seems to be working for them. You saw that push on A, a lot of smoke, a lot of chaos, and they come out on top once again. You see now NA pushing quite balanced. You see Chain over on the left side, you see A-Bomb down mid, you see Catalyst going for B, so almost 2 spread out. They haven't got enough guys on either front really to make a push. Yeah,
no, completely agree there, and the Italians are loving this scrappy fight right now. They are feeding off of the chaos, and I don't think NA are liking it too much. From what we saw in the last game, they like their set pieces. They have their kind of set way of playing. The smokes are coming in from NA as they push onto Bravo, but they can't even get to the smoke because Kama right here is just going absolutely ballistic. Picks up a third, nearly picks up a third kill. Unfortunately, wasn't able to finish it off here, and we saw Chris try and push on. He gets taken out. Bravo is now completely undefended. But luckily they hold that mid lane. Duke is coming back round. Maybe he can do something massive for the team right now. But NA are going to cap Bravo, and they're going to start knocking down that good 40-point lead that Italy have managed to amass up.
Definitely, it's definitely sort of panic time for NA now. I know it's 2-2 in the map count, but they are down in tickets. If Italy win by a significant amount, then it's going to be bad news for the Americans, putting pressure on themselves to come out and not only win the last map, but also win it by a significant amount. As we said at the start, huge gunfight wins by the Americans. They seem very good. I mean, honestly, both teams at this sort of caliber, very good at knowing when to push, knowing when to stay alive. Some guys are more than happy to lie in a corner for a while and wait. NA gets the wipe on B, so that goes their way. But Buffalo is on C flag behind them all. Adamant, I think, is the last guy alive in Village for the Americans, so he's going to try and call for spawns. But honestly, he's so surrounded. I don't know if that's a good idea, honestly.
But check this out here, dude. We've got NA pushing heavily for Alpha, which was awesome to see. Ooh. Really well done, reacting to that carefully. But somehow, Asa managed to push onto a completely undefended Bravo. NA, I don't know whether it was a miscommunication there, what happened, decided to leave no one on, and they're now going to be punished for it. They had a really good position there. They had most of the Italian team on Charlie. They managed to grab the Italian home spawn, and because of just a bit of a mistake there, the Italians are now able to hold on to that lead.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't usually see teams completely leave a flag open like that. Obviously, they got a lot of slaying onto C flag, but I guess they forgot about B momentarily, and then the Americans did the same thing straight back to them. So B is flip-flopping like absolute crazy. Wolfie with a huge two-piece on B flag. He's going to get pushed by a third guy. See if he can get the three-piece. He does! Onto Jukes. He's staying alive somehow. I mean, Buffalo's still there. He's playing so slow that he actually hasn't got the trade, so Wolfie gets the three-piece. But it might actually mean nothing if Buffalo gets the spawns back on him, you know, from the guys that have just been killed. Wolfie's also getting flanked on B flag, so it looks like B's going to stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, he does go down, but again, those 3 kills do matter quite a bit.
Here we go.
And just look at the points go down now for the Italians. Yep. They had a really good lead that's now been reduced to sort of 20 odd tickets now, and they have to be careful, because if they keep overextending like they did, NA might be able to just bite them in the arse one more time.
Exactly, they're definitely having another go at it on this A flag. They're trying to do this CA hold, which they've been trying to do since the start of the game here. Storm and Joan pushing Jukes. Jukes able to get one, able to get out with his life. He's going to re-challenge. He's going to be so fast. Too fast for Storm. He's lining up the kill feed. This SMG presence here for Italy. I mean, Doom and Jukes have been absolutely flying. I mean, you look at their kills. Doom with 16, Jukes with 9. Really going hard for the Italians, and that's why they're in the lead right now.
100%, and again, this scrapping nature favours that SMG play quite a bit, and NA can't find a footing anywhere. The moment they get somewhere, they get to momentum, there's either an Italian player behind them, or they're faced with 3 SMGs to the front and just a crazy amount of smokes happening. Stormslayer is forced to try and have to defend a revive situation here. He goes down quite easily, Yukama, and we're now seeing NA trapped in this sort of hold ravine, and there's just not much they can really do. They're just getting forced out of every opportunity right now, and the Italians have done a really good job bouncing this back. They were 20 points ahead, that's now been changed to 50 points ahead. NA have to pick a side, pick a push, and stick with it, because right now they're about to get spawn trapped.
Exactly. I mean, luckily Wolfie is still alive here on this A spawn. If you're going to see anything happen for the Americans, he's going to have to stay alive, and guys are going to have to spawn on him and win this gunfight onto Jukes. Jukes has been here most of the game. He gets the pick, the Storm spawns on him. He has to win the gunfight, and he does. He's going to get the revive on Wolfie. This gives the Americans life, because right now they're holding C with their dear life from this B push from Italy. they're doing a decent job, but they're not going to push on B anytime soon. It's this this A push here, which is going to be the deciding factor to see if America can get back in this game.
No, I completely agree with you there, and I think maybe the NA side has just run out of a bit of steam. They were able to push back the Italians. They're a bit all over the place. They're focusing solely on this B push here. And we've got these two guys just holding on the outside of Alpha. They are making progress now, but now they're against Jukes, who has just been a complete pain in the back. Jand is now spawning on, and this SMG play, like you said, really dominating. And Stormslayer goes down 18 to 84. This is a massive lead for the Italians. It's going to see it go down to the final map, and with that puts them something like 100 points ahead towards the end.
Yeah.
So NA have got to win by quite a massive margin now.
No, exactly. We go into this map 148 to 122 in favour of Italy. So whatever lead the Italians look like they're going to hold on to, that would obviously go into the last map and be a massive factor ticket-wise for the Americans. It is definitely worth mentioning the Americans currently have a 2 cap. They do have a 3 cap right now. This is crazy. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on C from the Italians, so they could probably get out of this pretty quickly. But Catalyst is doing some slaying on A flag. Django and Buffalo are on C flag, but they are getting pinched. If they get killed now, they don't, luckily. So it looks like they're okay for now. They're going to stabilize. Catalyst needs to help. Joan is rotating back to A. This needs to happen. Honestly, just you don't need to win this map, America. You just need to win, you
just tickets. Knock those tickets down.
Yeah.
But you see what they're doing here? They're giving away four tickets straight away on that C flag, just by not bothering to go for the revives here. Misery holding on to spawn. Nope, he decided to speed through it. That means there's 7 tickets left, and even with that, there's going to be 80 odd tickets between the two teams going into the next game. NA holding on to Bravo. We can see A-Bomb trying to push on his own, just gets ruined by Drugs. Drugs manages to shut down the revive here, so it's going to be another 3 tickets gone within the next few seconds.
Yeah.
And NA are in some serious trouble here. 63-62. I think Italy did a really good job there, finishing that one off.
No, I agree. You look at the scoreboard there. Doom, Buffalo, Drugs, Jukes leading the way for the Italians. Jonah had a good game, but still 63-0 victory there for the Italian guys on Fiel there. So if I'm doing my maths properly, it is a 211 to 122 ticket lead going into the 6th final map, which I believe, if I do my maths, 78 plus 11, 79, 89 ticket difference now. You want to go that far and say, your bold prediction is going to be NA come back, steal the game with a ticket difference, absolute miracle. Do you want to go that far?
I mean, it's going to be difficult to say. We'll have to see how the game looks at that sort of 110, 120 ticket mark. This map can go either way. NA have to hit everything right here if they want to steal this game from Italy. They really have to lock down the sides, those flanks around the B flag, and they have to get triple caps.
Yes.
There's no way they can just take this holding double caps. With the kills that are counted towards the tickets as well,
right,
the triple is going to be the only way they can do it. Holding it just on the double is going to be tough. It really is going to be tough for them. They need that really good buffer at the beginning.
No, I agree. And if they do get a triple cap, because obviously it's a linear map, you assume that they're going to sort of walk before they run. So I guess they're going to go from, the 2 cap to the 3 cap. But you see, this is the kind of thing. Italy, no, you see Camera and Jukes just slaying with the SMGs, just like they've done all match. If they make it messy, if they make it smoky, and just, trade out kills the whole time, it's going to be very difficult for the Americans to basically, like you said, accrue that amount of tickets. It's not just about the flags anymore. It's about these deaths. And you see this sort of wipe. You can't have this. You are literally, I don't know how many tickets they've got left to spare. Like, what, 54? For the rest of this game. Like, let's just say 54 deaths across the whole team. That's going to be hard to avoid. Because you're looking at, what, like, I don't know, like 5 deaths each? Something like that? Along those lines? It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, no, it really is, and Italy are really forcing NA off of this Bravo flag here. Rapsy is probably the furthest one in front, up against Kama. He does end up staying alive just a little bit, but Kama does get the kill there, which is going to be huge, because that means Italy can push up all on this right-hand flank, keep NA in this big pit fight towards the front of the church, and they really can't go anywhere. Like, at this point, as a team, you think, okay, screw it, we're not winning B, let's overload a flank, see what's going to happen. But that decision hasn't been made quick enough for NA, and it's allowed Italy to get guys on. You know, we've got 2 on the right here. Doom is going to probably go for that revive. A-Bomb and Catalyst trying to push up, but there's now 3 people on that flank. And it's just not going to go the way of NA right now. They have to go in big, and they have to go in big now.
Talking about going big, Django with a huge 3-piece on this left side here. And I mean, we talked about the 3-piece, the 3-cap that's going to have to come in probably for NA at least, you know, at least at one point, just to get, you know, the ticket difference back. We are literally looking at something which could resemble a triple cap in favour of Italy. They're slaying out. There is literally like a 99% chance of them winning this game at this point. I'm not gonna kid you. I mean, 110 tickets. You've only got 18 tickets left. Storm needs to win this gunfight. He does. He should leak to A, and he does. That was a great decision by him. He's just trying to get around to A and to stop this 2-cap coming in. They're so low on tickets. I'm not sure if they're aware that they need to win by such a high ticket difference, because it feels like they're playing recklessly almost. Like there's not enough medics on the map to revive everyone.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of decisions are really kicking them in the butt right now.
And Italy had a good movement here with Drugs pulling back. Unfortunately, he did lose his gunfight, but see, this is the quick reactions that I'd expect from the teams here. They see someone going around, Drugs lost his gunfight, and instantly we see Kama and Acer spawning on the A flag to prevent that home cap from getting in. And LA have now managed to grab that Bravo flag. It's turned out it's a massive pit fight. The trades are coming in, leaving just Jukes and Rapsy here. Jukes goes down, so NA managed to just win that one by the skin of their teeth. Unfortunately, they miss out on one of the revives here. Joan is going to get picked up by Rapsy, but Italy are now on Charlie, causing massive damage to this NA side, and they just couldn't do what Italy did on the A flag.
I mean, incredible rotation stuff. You saw Storm leak to A eventually. You know, obviously the leak to A isn't always about getting the A flag. It's about, you know, taking pressure off B, because Italy rotate backwards. They cap B, but then Italy rotate to C and be annoying. NA have started to hold spawns as if, you know, all of a sudden they need to hold spawns, as if they've just realised that they will lose this match if they don't do that. Storm, for example, just skipped his revive for some reason when he's right next to Rathbasy. I don't understand that decision one bit. Are you trying to win this game or not? Bad decision from him there. Django picks up the kill, and Italy flood on in. 95 tickets left on the side of NA. Need to reiterate, they need 90 to win due to a plus 89 ticket advantage for Italy. And they are currently losing in general on the ticket count. So even if they lose, it doesn't really matter. And it looks like we're about to see the end of their chances in this tournament.
Yeah, and that was massive for Italy to get NA down to those 22 tickets on Hamada. Or even though they lost the round, it's because of the round that they've lost that they were in with a 90 ticket sort of like cushion, effectively, and they knew they could beat NA on that kind of ticket difference. You know, I think these teams have all been averaging like 60, that 60-70 mark, kind of this whole game, and it's really easy to take out 60, get 60 kills on the board. I mean, just look at Italy right now. They're just kind of racking it up, at least sort of near that 10 kill each mark.
Yeah.
And I think they've just done everything right. They've kept the cool. They know what they needed to do. And NA, like I said, they were just too reckless in this last round to actually make anything of it.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think just too much of a pressure burden to put on the NA players there to say don't not only win the game, win it by a significant amount on a map which is, you know, could go either way on B flag, honestly. And I think they just weren't prepared for the style, I guess, they needed to play. They needed to play 4 medics. I think they've been playing 3 medics the whole game. Simply not enough pressure. You need players to be holding onto revives. playing conservatively, playing together as well. Like, I know in certain situations, like a flank to the home flag, you need to be, body by yourself, just because that's sort of the nature of a flank. But the rest of the time, you need to be literally hugging each other, and they weren't doing that enough. And I think Italy, the team in the lead, in the power position, was actually hugging each other more and playing as a team more than the NA players were. So I think that's the thing with these teams. Everyone here is extremely skilled, very good individual players. The extent to which you work as a team is the defining factor in these games. It's not about your individual gun skill anymore. It's about you working together with your 7 teammates and coming out with a victory. That's the defining factor, and I think Italy have shown us that they're the better team overall.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that one. From the scrappy gunplay really getting under NA's skin, to the fact that when a lot of these squad conquest games come down to the kills, running that SMG meta naturally means that you're fully stacked on the medics, the most that you can have in the game at the moment, and so you're getting the revives left, right, and centre. And it really shows off, we're down to 107 to 64. NA haven't been doing that bad. That Bravo flag has traded, that Charlie flag has traded every now and again. We've seen players like Catalyst who are going in massive for the team, unfortunately getting stopped at the very last minute there. But Wolfie is coming in, which means Alpha's going to go in the favour of NA right now, which is going to be huge. But just the fact that Italy have managed to get the revives when they needed to, it's come in really, really helpful for them.
No, yeah, I totally agree. The revive strength and the sort of team play in general that you've seen with the medics in particular on the side of Italy has been extremely important. You see Django as well, just showing that every so often, basically completely contradicting myself, sometimes individual skill can just win you certain situations, certain gunfights, and allow your team to press on and move ahead. And you see that on A flag right now. He wins the opening 2-piece. And since then, the American players have been playing.
Doom going in massive right now with his teammates there on Bravo.
What on earth?
And between him and 3 people, they managed to slay at least 6 or 7, if I can do my math correct there. That was huge going in, and we're going to have a triple cap. And I think this is, the nail was already in the coffin here for the Americans, but this is just adding insult to injury right now. And NA just holding on the outside of Bravo right now. They're not pushing in, they're taking their time, too much time if I'm honest. And even though they're jumping on it now, that was easily 10 to 15 tickets they just lost from those few seconds that we've been talking here.
Yeah, literally, like you said, it's over anyway. If there's any doubt in anyone's mind, the team who's going to be progressing is going to be Italy. Even if NA mount an incredible comeback now, they win on the ticket difference. And they will be progressing to face Spain in the semi-finals.
What a match that is going to be.
Yeah, crazy game.
So, if those of you who haven't been following, this weekend we've had 4 quarterfinals. 3 of them have happened tonight, which means we're going to see UK facing off against KSA in one semi-final, Spain versus Italy. So 4 major nations in the battlefield scene are going to be competing in probably some of the heated matches I'm going to have the pleasure of casting. And I can't wait for that final to happen. So Jimmy, the BWL have done a cracking job in such a rocky time for Battlefield Competitive right now, providing such a good basis for all of these teams to come together, these players to represent their nations at the moment. So I just want to say thanks to the BWL for allowing these players to play and myself to cast. It's done a cracking job, and I hope you guys watching also understand that as well. Like, these guys who provide that basis for Battlefield Competitive to exist.
Well, thank you very much, Rod. That's very, very kind of you. Wasn't expecting that. It kind of came out of nowhere. So no, I'm really grateful. Genuinely appreciate it. So yeah, I love watching these. These teams. I love playing against them. I love watching them, casting them, supporting them. Providing, like you said, a league that's wants to support them, wants them to succeed, and wants the overall scene to sort of grow all together. It's not about individual players or teams. It's just about the whole experience for everyone, and it benefits everyone to have a league that supports them, casts their games, promotes them, all this kind of good stuff. So obviously Wild is responsible for the casting, I think, the vast majority of these games. So again, don't want to underestimate his importance here. But no, we are coming to the end of this game now, in the last quarterfinal game that's been casted today, the 3rd one, 4th one overall. And next week we will have 2 semi-final games. Like Wild said, UK versus KSA as the game ends 75, I think, to 0 now in favour of Italy, and players start to wind off for the night. It is pretty late, I think, for some of the Italian guys, and it's probably a sad early evening for some of the North American players.